Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Speed Street Podcast. Hello. I hope you're all just as sad as I am that we didn't have an IndyCar race to watch over the weekend or participate in. However, an off weekend was very necessary for not only teams, families, me, Alexander Rossi's boat, which we'll talk about as well.
Can't wait.
But my name is Connor Daly. I am driver of the number 76, Juncos Hollinger Racing Chevrolet, the Mankind Tired of Pricks Chevrolet this weekend. Once again, same livery as we had at Detroit. We've got a race on Sunday night primetime. We've got a forecast that we're going to verbally assault the forecast until it goes away. And that's what we're going to do.
Amen.
We're going to use our words and our minds to get the forecast to clear up a little bit. Because that's how weather works, I'm sure. But Chase Holden, my co-host, is here, obviously, as well. He also had an off weekend, although there was NASCAR racing to watch, which Michigan International Speedway, I wish IndyCar was racing at Michigan International Speedway. I think it's just such an awesome track. I didn't get to watch as much of the NASCAR as I thought I was going to because I played a lot of golf, and golf was taking up my days. But yeah, Chase, how we doing? How we feeling? We ready for another IndyCar race?
Man, it seems like you're not the only person that would like to see IndyCar go back to Michigan. Yeah. It seems like a lot of people would. I was literally laying on the couch. I was watching it. The NASCAR on Prime coverage has been great, and just watching that race play out, man, was it just really got me just laying there, just watching those stock cars running circles, and I'm just like, this would be so much better with open wheel cars running in circles. So yeah, that's where my mind went to, but great NASCAR race. Big shout out to Denny. And yeah, just took some time getting ready for a move coming up. So it's been a little hectic down here in Louisiana. It's been hot, very swampy down here. It's a rough time of year to be in the New Orleans area. So yeah, just a lot going on, staying busy, and really excited for Gateway coming up this weekend, which I will be at. A lot of people have been asking me, so we'll be there this weekend having some fun. One of the greatest oval tracks that we have on the schedule in IndyCar, so very excited to talk about it. We will do a rain dance, Connor. We will do a rain dance.
We're going to be doing all kinds of dancing. But real quick to revisit Detroit, I wanted to shout out the fans because I appreciated everyone's thoughts and opinions on it. We obviously recorded on a Monday, so we didn't get to talk about the Santino Ferrucci penalty. We didn't get to talk about the ratings because I had some things to do on the Tuesday. But again, we hit the $1 million number / the million people number. That's great, but it still is one of those things that a lot of people are just like, man, I truly don't understand where this, we had a peak of 8.4 million viewers for the Indy 500. And I still think that, obviously a week after, maybe an oval race would still be the best thing. And I obviously expressed my opinions on that. But, there were a lot of fans in the YouTube comments who I respect. They enjoyed the race. And I like that. I'm happy to admit that maybe, if I'm wrong and say, hey, I'm not a fan of that track at all. I don't think it suits our cars well, like I mentioned. But a lot of people were like, hey, we actually enjoyed the race. And I still want to know why, because it was the first street race where we've had some crashes and we've had some contact and we've had some yellows and that does make the race more exciting. Now yes. Again, I think a lot of people won't admit that hey, we saw some crashes, but if you were to tell me, hey, Detroit is a much more exciting race than the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg or Long Beach, well, I'm going to disagree. I don't think that that's a true statement. However, it was probably a more exciting race to watch because there was yellows. There were yellows. There were restarts. There was some action. So again, I still think, proper street courses like St. Pete and Long Beach are still the upper echelon of street courses for us. But hey, you know what? If the fans want to continue to watch Detroit, that's awesome. And someone had even mentioned to me oh, well, you're not buying a ticket, so you don't have to. And I was like, all true. You're right. And I'm obviously going to race at whatever track is on the schedule because I love IndyCar racing. But I obviously still, there's a lot of drivers who feel the same way about this track. And I hope that there maybe are some things that we can do to it. But shout out to the fans. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I wish that there was maybe 2 million people that enjoyed it. Like, I wish we could still get a little bit more of that crowd that watches the Indy 500 because I don't understand what the disconnect is. I still think that the people think that the Indy 500 is its own series. I still believe that there's so much effort and knowledge and wisdom put into the Indy 500, and they think that that's our only race. So there's still a general, because I interact with people, again, every day that don't come from the racing world, that are not racing fans. And just hearing the words of like, oh, so like, when is the next Indy 500? Is that like in September? It's like, no, there's only one. That's one race of our 17 race season. It's like, oh, so again, we still kind of have to get over that hurdle, but shout out to the fans that watch Detroit. Still, getting over 1 million viewers is a lot. I think this Sunday night primetime event in St. Louis is going to be very, very important to get to, and to just take advantage of. But yeah, Chase, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, obviously you thought the Detroit race was very exciting, which again,
well, yeah.
I obviously, my opinion does not matter because I am participating in the event, and I think the event could be better if the track was slightly better, but I'm glad people enjoyed it. I will submit to being wrong.
It's like we talked about last week. Like, you're always going to have a different view of it, right? Because you're in the car, you're racing. So when you're watching it on TV, I think that it's the when you shake up a race with like a caution, there's this level of uncertainty, this level of suspense that kicks in. Like, oh, it's anybody's game now. Like, I think that that's the big thing, right? Like, that's the thing we like. That's what fans like. That's what anybody that likes racing, like, they're just kind of like, what's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And that draws people in. So there were a lot of moments where we got that in Detroit. So I'm not going to say that that cautions are what makes races entertaining by any means. Not. But I will say that it definitely adds suspense. Yeah. Adds suspense, and that can be an element that can make people like things. So whatever makes them come in is what we're happy about. Like, more people watching IndyCar for sure. And I mean, even your take on the going from the Indy 500 to the oval, but another oval race. What I would say to that is just like the Indy 500 is always, I feel like, looked more to like now being here for a few years. It's kind of like the Olympics. Like, people look at the Indy 500 like an Olympic event. And so like that is just an annual thing that happens. So there is a series attached to it. You should watch it. It is badass. And that's what we got to keep promoting and sharing to people, no matter where we're going or what the schedule is.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, that was just a couple points from Detroit. I want to mention on this show as well, we haven't talked about it yet, but Kyffin Simpson is going to join us. Kyffin Simpson had his career best day in the IndyCar series. We have not had Kyffin Simpson on the show before, so we have a new IndyCar driver to talk to because he finished in the top 5. So I'm sure some people are a little bit like, oh, wow, they're surprised we had him on the show. But it's like, hey, we will always give those credit where credit's due. And that happened. So shout out Kyffin for being with us. We're going to get into a preview of St. Louis, one of my favorite races coming up, one of the best. But there was some news that came out today that I think is worth talking about, and a lot of people are going to be talking about it because it obviously has to do with Formula One, which Formula One is, they are very large.
True colors.
Yeah, they're very large, and we understand that. But they announced their schedule for 2026, and this had been rumored. And normally, we have such a not fun, but like it's just tradition to watch the Monaco race on race morning. You're like, oh, cool, we're gonna wake up, watch Monaco. Monaco's always kind of been there for a long time, right? On the same day as the Indy 500, which is cool. You know what I mean? It's not up against the Indy 500. So now Formula One has placed the Canadian Grand Prix, which again, I will give them 1% of understanding here because you go from Miami to Canada. Obviously, that's probably less travel expenses for teams. You're going to stay in North America. But there is, I could say, another weekend where you could probably put the Canadian race. That's not the Indy 500 weekend. But F1 decided to put the Canadian Grand Prix, which I love. Montreal is an amazing track. I wish IndyCar could race at Montreal. They've put it on the same day as the Indy 500. Now, I mean, that is, I have a lot of things to say about this. And sadly, you know, I'm going to probably work another F1 race in Las Vegas again, doing the track commentary. And, you know, I've been close to the Formula One world before and have a lot of friends in the Formula One world and respect it. But I think this is the most arrogant of a shot you can take at just motorsport in general and motorsport fans. And again, F1 fans are there's a lot of F1 fans that are just purely F1 and everything else sucks and you are all poor people. That's what a lot of F1 Twitter thinks, which again, that's fine. Like, that's cool. But there are a lot of folks that do love to watch motorsport. We like to watch racing. We appreciate all racing because we like to watch different drivers compete from all around the world, in different disciplines.
We like speed.
And this is such a disrespectful move to those that just enjoy motorsport and just in general. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you even want to do that? I just, and the Indy 500 is really like, that is okay, it doesn't matter what you're a fan of. The facts speak for themselves. I mean, we had 8.5 million people tuning in this year. I mean, that's a lot of people. You know, it's the single largest attended sporting event in the world. Like, that's, again, those are facts. This isn't just like an opinion piece. I don't understand why, you know, again, the European arrogance and confidence in everything that they have in Formula One. I mean, I've literally seen it. You can be upset about it if I say it, but like, it's real. I'm sorry. Like, it's a real thing. And, you know, American drivers, they suck. Everyone sucks. You know, that's just kind of like, I've heard it before. And again, not everyone thinks this, but this is a direct shot at us. This is a direct shot. It's almost like a declaration of war. Like, this is crazy. Like, if you've planned to, and I mean, I love going to the Canadian Grand Prix. I think it's a great event. I think it's something that's like really fun. I used to go all the time. I raced Formula Ford 1600 at the Canadian Grand Prix weekend when I was 15. Like, I thought it was awesome. But it's just not necessary. Like, it's just not I just don't think it's necessary. Like, when you talk about they're doing it for sustainability or whatever, it's not. It's literally just to try to flex. And again, I don't believe for their, I just don't believe in it. I just don't believe that you can disrespect the like history of motorsport, the passion that fans have for, you know, for that specific Sunday. Obviously, we as a series, we are smaller. We know that. Like, that's fine. We can admit that. But the Indy 500 is the Indy 500. And I think there's a lot more people in that paddock that have more respect than I think a lot of people think for this race. Now, again, I can be angry about this. That's cool. You can disagree with me, but I just think it disrespects those that like racing. On that day, you have the F1 race in the morning, which again, all the NASCAR drivers are going to watch, IndyCar drivers are going to watch. We like that. And then a lot of people will watch the Indy 500, NASCAR, F1. A lot of people, like even F1 teams were doing, you know, milk drinking videos. Like everyone, like there is a level of respect for that day. And now you're like, nah, we're going to screw all that. And we're just going to be like, yeah, well, let's try to run it up against it. I just don't understand the strategy. Now, again, F1 is the most powerful motorsport series in the world. We get it. Like, that's cool. You guys are trying to take over America and make everyone look silly. And you've got cool sponsorships and big watches and cool hospitality units. And again, I will go work an F1 race because I need a paying job. Like, I would love to, I will go do that. And I like F1. I do. But I don't like the attitude that it seems there is right now that just is completely disrespecting anything else. Like, there can be other motorsports that exist, right? Like even Le Mans, like even they have a race that's scheduled the same weekend as Le Mans too, which that's a shame. Like, Le Mans is also a very large event. Now, we also have a race that's, you know, scheduled against Le Mans this weekend, which is a shame. But I don't know. For me, Chase, I think it's such a declaration of like, haha, yeah, we're going to do this. And again, I think IndyCar is going to play the smart move and be like, we're not even going to pay attention that event even exists on that day. Because again, we will still dominate that day. We will. Like, I'm sorry. That's just science and math. And I think our race is good enough to do that. And I think the sheer magnitude of the event is good enough to do that. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on it. And again, maybe it's cool to disagree with me. And there's all of F1 Twitter is gonna love it. They're gonna love it. They're gonna be like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever. The Indy 500 is just turning left in circles, but they also don't know anything about it. Like they've not been there, they've not seen it, they've probably never watched it. And even if you don't like the Indy 500, like that's cool, that's totally fine. But there is a level of respect that I believe it deserves, because many Formula One drivers have come and done the Indy 500. Many like a NASCAR driver, like everyone knows that the Indy 500. We respect the history, we respect the tradition. That's what I would like to say.
I think that if anything, this shows that they do not respect the history. They do not respect the tradition. And that's the way I've seen F1 for a long time. And I'm going to be honest by just saying that I've kind of been ready for the war. I've kind of, I got my general stash going on here. Kind of been ready. I mean, you have to be crazy to say you didn't see stuff like this coming at some point. IndyCar gets this new deal with Fox. They know that this is an American open wheel racing series. They're trying to bite into the American market. The thing that really pisses me off is the fact that they went and messed up the greatest day in motorsport. They messed up what we have had.
It just fit, right? Like everything fit together on that Sunday. You could sit on your couch and watch racing all day. You could be F1 in the morning, Indy 500, NASCAR. Like that is a racing fan's dream. That's I would love that. But you mess that up because you guys think you're cooler than everyone else. And I think that's sad. It's just sad for motorsport fans. I just like motorsport. Like I love F1. I do. But today makes me like. My kid has
every Lego, Connor. My kid, he wanted every Lego. I bought them for him because he's my kid.
Yeah, my cousin's kids all have F1 Legos. Like I get it. Like it's totally fine. It's just there has to be a level of respect, and maybe that's just silly. Like obviously respect. Maybe no one cares about that anymore. But it just seems like it just seemed like an unnecessary move that just kind of disrespects the sport, the history, and again maybe like people don't care about that anymore. I think there are a lot of people who do, and I think there are a lot of people who like watching multiple forms of motorsport. And so, I think that's, feel free to, go to war in the comments if you feel like it. Like, that's cool. And let us know.
Join the fight.
But I only say this because, we fight for everything that we got in IndyCar. And obviously we know that we are not in the powerful position, but the Indy 500 is. The Indy 500 is without a doubt a powerful event. It is an event that, guess what? A ton of people watch. That's a fact. It is an event that a ton of people go to. That is a fact. It is an event that the amount of people that go to that event are way more than any F1 race. So it's something that, again, we as a series, I believe on that day, I think we should still remain confident, obviously. And I think we can remain confident. But I think
we will.
But it's sad because like I would have actually wanted, like if the Canadian Grand Prix somehow ended up on an IndyCar off weekend, like that would be a fun race to go to. And I think there are a lot of fans who would kind of want to do the same thing. Like the Canadian Grand Prix on this side of the planet, it's a fun one to go to. I do enjoy that. And I just don't understand it. So, feel free to disagree. That's cool. We love that, but there is a general level of intelligence and common sense on like, why would you do that? Like, I just don't understand it. So
there's a price to pay for everything.
Yeah. We had to have a discussion about it. And I hope I'm still allowed in the F1 paddock because I plan on working the Las Vegas race again, and I will do it with joy because I got a lot of friends in that paddock. Got a lot of great mechanics and people that I know over there, and drivers that are friends of mine, and they're obviously not the ones who were at fault for this. Like that's like we're obviously all still just friends and hanging out, and there's a lot of respect between the series that I think the public don't really see. But the management and the leadership, interesting move. Can't wait to see how it works out for you. So I guess we'll see what happens. But that was a big one. I just thought we had to discuss that.
100% had to be talked about for sure on this show.
And then also one thing that happened as well is the FIA granted a super license to a young fella, a young driver for Red Bull, because of special circumstances, and I'm like, goodness gracious, Colton Herta wasn't granted a super license because there was a lot of people looking for Colton Herta to get granted a super license, and again.
The moves keep coming. You can't be blind to it.
I know. Such an anti-American. It's the most anti-American thing that's literally so obvious that I mean, again, it's because I've grown up in this world and I know it very well. And maybe the public can't see it as much. But it's literally like not this guy. But if he races over here with us, doesn't matter. Like, and this driver may be good. I actually don't know this driver in F2, F3. But again, probably completely qualified. I don't know that, but I can promise you Colton Herta would have been qualified with far more years of experience and far more competitive races, under his belt. So again, one of those things that it was kind of wild to see that. We thought, there's no way, like if he gets granted a super license, why wouldn't have Colton been like under special circumstances?
Seems like they're scared, Connor. Seems like there's some scared tactics going on, and I think that's all I had to say about it. Like this is all just they see what can be. They see what is coming in America. Oh, man. They are getting nervous.
Simple. I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not. I still wish we say all that, and it's like, there's a lot of aggressive comments. My overall opinion is still like, I wish we could all I wish there was more like teamwork and like, hey, like if motorsport as a whole succeeds, like all across the board, the rising tide raising, like why can't that be good? Like why can't that be a universal goal? Like what? Obviously, it's never going to happen because everyone's selfish and everyone wants more money.
It could be so simple.
But it's like, why can't these multiple series succeed? And why can't we all be like, yeah, hey, there's a mutual level of respect. Like I think the drivers and personnel, I feel like there's way more respect than there is, that people realize, as I've kind of mentioned a couple times before. So again, we had to get into that. That definitely ruffled my feathers this morning. I'm not gonna lie, ruffled my feathers. And I had to discuss it. And boy, I hope. I hope people can come into the comments and the Twitters and the Instagrams with respect. Like we're just trying to have a respectful conversation, and there's a lot of disrespect that comes from the overseas and that management situation. So here we are. We're just trying to understand why or what's the point.
Please write us a letter, email us.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to an incredible oval race that's coming up this weekend, an NTT IndyCar Series event, which hopefully millions of people watch. We're at Gateway, World Wide Technology Raceway, excuse me. We're going to get into some picks for this weekend. We're going to give us a general top three prediction. Obviously, Detroit, I don't think it really, I think I picked at least Kyle Kirkwood, so happy with that. The Andretti cars were very fast at Detroit as usual. Will they be fast on the street on the ovals as well? We are not sure. I can't wait for this weekend. This is a weekend that I've been looking forward to since last year. This is the first weekend for me as a driver during this year that I have been to before with this team. And last year we qualified 12th and we got wrecked in the first corner and we lost a lap replacing the wing, which killed our day. But we knew we were very fast. So I cannot wait for this weekend. We learned some at the Indianapolis 500 that I think will help us this weekend. But the weather forecast is definitely, it's looking a little bit angry.
I'm not looking at it on purpose, Connor.
I don't want to look at it. I don't want to pay much attention to it. But, this is one that we need to be clear for Sunday night. However, for a driver like myself who has not had a wonderful season so far, I don't want to start on points either. I want to qualify. I want, no matter what, to get a qualifying session in. It doesn't matter what lap, doesn't matter when, I don't care where, how, why, but we definitely want to qualify because even last year we barely, we went out first or almost first or second and we still qualified 12th. So we know that we can start towards the front. We believe that we've got a strong package that we're bringing there to Gateway. And we learned a lot from last year, but boy, do we need to qualify. So I hope with everything that I've got in my body that we can get qualifying in. But this will be a fun one. This will be a fun race. I do believe at night, cars generate more grip, produce more power. I think that's great for us. Love that it's Sunday night prime time. I can't wait for it. Chase, I mean, like, you're going to be there too. These guys do great at promoting an event too. They do great at excitement. We're going to have fire that shoots up on the back straight. We're going to finally get under the lights and just see some sparks fly.
Yeah, this is the return to badass American oval racing in IndyCar after the 500. So I've been coming to this event now for a few years, and yeah, the people at the track, Chris, Allison, they're just such great guys and gals, and I know that one thing is for sure, they go above and beyond, unlike a lot of other tracks I've seen and worked with, specifically like when it comes into the series. When I look at their concerts that they do, when I look at the way that they give so much to the fans, it's just one of those things that's truly become a tradition to me. So I would hope that there are a lot of people out there. We got some great packages out there.
Yes.
I'll just say that.
I saw you promote that.
Yeah, so that was an amazing. I was blown away at that $66 deal that they have going on.
I mean, that's a great deal, by the way. I didn't even know that deal was available. I mean, that seems like a very respectable deal.
They hit me up on that. So, yeah, it was just two adult tickets, 2 kid tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 sodas on Father's Day.
Man,
that's a Father's Day's dream. $66. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really excited to be out there for it. And what I'm really looking forward to is just watching you get to rip on another one of these shorter ovals. What has what is your week off really been focused on? Like, is there any specific area of improvement you're looking to run on this track this weekend?
Well, my weekend off involved golf. That's we'll get into that real quick. 2 rounds of golf. Marcus Ericsson. Yeah, Marcus Ericsson played some golf with him on day 1, then Alex Rossi day 2. We also didn't get to talk about the Alexander Rossi boat accident / not accident, but he just had a transmission failure or something like that.
Boats.
Yeah, that was a wild situation. Shout out Michael Andretti for coming to tow us into the dock. We had to swim the boat onto the trailer, essentially. Just an off week that was full of everything and just a humorous internet situation. That clip of Alex Rossi and I basically kicking the boat to the dock, it got over like 125,000 views now on Instagram. So that's hilarious. I think people, we're just people too. And there's some wild stuff that we just got to fix. Shout out Hinch. He was out there great on the wake surfboard. Christian Rasmussen doing, swimming boats in as well. So it was very, very funny. Played a lot of golf. I'm still not good at golf, so I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'd like to try. But yeah, obviously watching the Pacers too. Been watching the Pacers. Goodness gracious, I love the Pacers. Game 1, oh my goodness. Game 2 was a sad one, but I believe I get to go to Game 3, which is I'm very, very lucky to get to go to, and I can't wait to go to Game 3. So that's going to be awesome. Big Pacers guy. But back to the race, we're just excited, honestly. We looked into a lot of things from last year, gearing strategies, where we want to start with the car compared to what we learned at Milwaukee last year and Indy this year. Obviously, we had a great Indy 500 car, and there are a couple things. Obviously, Gateway very smooth, Indy 500 very smooth. So sometimes you can use a few things there. But yeah, we're just ready. We want to qualify up front, and we want to win. We want to win the race. So
that's it, dog.
The difficult thing is those Penske cars at Gateway are usually at a completely different level. And we don't know how, we don't know why, but the Penske cars truly seem to be just one step above everyone else. So we're going to have to beat them, and that's going to be challenging. But
that was last year, though.
It's true, but Penske's still Penske, so they're still very, very good. But let's get into some picks. Chase, I'm going to do one, you do one. We'll just go back and forth. We'll give 3 picks. I'm going to start with myself. I'm going to go with myself again. Probably, hopefully that's not a bad omen, but I'm going to go with myself. I feel really good. I love this race. We have experience. I can't wait. So I hope, we're hoping for the best day ever.
I love that. The energy's there, so you know that there will be 1 pick. So I'll have 2 picks to give you because you already know where 1 will be. I got to go with Will Power, though, to start out. We just talked about Penske. He has been one of the stronger Penskes. He did have a better finish at Detroit than pretty much every other Penske. There were other circumstances. But I will say that it just does seem like Will Power's just got this itch. He has been known to cut a rug at this track in the past. So I'm not going to say whether I think he'll win the race, finish second or third, but he'll be in that podium area is what I'm looking to see this weekend. So starting all with willpower, that's where I'll go.
All right, that's a good pick. I think for me, this is a big weekend for Joseph Newgarden. I think Joseph Newgarden has had a rough go. I saw him at the Detroit driver intros, and he looks very sad, and I feel bad for. I mean, a lot of people are hating on Joseph right now, and I want to let people know that what that could kind of do to a driver's like mental side too. Like it's cool if you don't, if he's not your favorite, and like booing people like that happens all the time. Like we know that that's sports. But Joseph, like I don't think he's like personally going out and attacking people. And he's not, obviously that team has done some things, right, that they've gotten in trouble for, which is fine to be upset with the team. But I think a lot of people are coming after like Joseph personally. And I don't know, man, I felt bad for Joseph. I've known Joseph since I was a kid. So, I don't know why he's in that mental state, but I think he's looking for a big rebound this weekend. I think you could see a Joseph domination weekend. So I'm going to go with Joseph. I think he wants to rebound. I think this is one of his stronger tracks ever. I think he wants to just destroy everyone. It looks in his face, he just looks like he wants to like literally step on your throat. So I think Joseph's going to be, going for it.
That can be good. That can be some good, some good stuff to pull from when you're kind of a lone wolf type of driver like Joseph seems to be. I will say I'm going to move into a team that does have an alliance with Penske. And I'm going to go Dave Malukas on the podium this week. I've seen Malukas do this once before in the past in a car that was not an AJ Foyt racing car. I have seen him finish second in the Indianapolis 500. I think that's enough for me to kind of award him with a podium pick this weekend. I feel like there's some good momentum behind Lil D right now. So shout out to Dave Malukas. He is one of my podium picks this week. Great guy.
Honestly, Chase, I think that's a great pick. He has truly hit his stride. I think he is, they're really, that Penske and Foyt integration does seem to be a little bit stronger on the 4-car side. And I think a lot of people can recognize that. But David's doing the job too. David's doing it. He's going out there. He's racing well. Obviously a bit of a mistake, maybe fender blasting Alex Palou, but those things will happen. So
learning curves.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think that's a very good pick. I'm not going to pick him though. I'm not going to do that. For my last pick, I so badly want to go with Scott McLaughlin because it's almost like a Penske sweep. I so badly want to do that. But I'm going to go with Marcus Ericsson. I think Marcus Ericsson really needs to have a strong comeback. Marcus Ericsson and I are tied in the championship, which is wild. We are not where we want to be. He obviously wants to bounce back. I talked to him over the weekend. He feels confident. He feels like they were fast in the race at some point last year. So I'm thinking Marcus Ericsson could have a good weekend.
Okay. I think it's no surprise to save the best for last. We got Connor Daly on the podium. So that's a normal one. Look, this is power time, dog. I mean, you're feeling it. I'm feeling it. We all know what you're capable of on these tracks, so I'm ready to see it happen. Ready to get to actually be at one of these races, get to celebrate that with you, man. So, yeah, you're on the podium in my eyes this weekend.
Love it. Well, as we know, the Gateway Race / the World Wide Technology Raceway race.
World Wide Technology Raceway. Yeah.
Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox. You don't have to go find it anywhere. It's going to be right there. I promise you, you can find it. You can tune in. I want you to tell 15 friends to do the same. And I want those 15 friends to tell another 10. This is going to be must-see television, as most IndyCar races have been, I believe, so far. Fox is continuing to improve every single weekend. We love to see what they've done with the broadcasts. I've been enjoying seeing the clips and watching the races. I think there's a lot that will continue to get better. So, Fox, Sunday night, primetime. Why be anywhere else? It's going to be sweet. And with that, let's get to our driver interview. Let's get to Kyffin Simpson, the Chip Ganassi Racing driver. And, we'll see you afterwards for the Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we have a first timer on the Speed Street podcast. We have a young driver. We like to get. We're almost there. We haven't got everyone in the series on the show, but at some point maybe we will. But we like to bring in success stories, and this was a successful story. A Chip Ganassi. Well, now we have had a lot of Chip Ganassi racing drivers on this show. We've had them. If anything, this entire season has been a Chip Ganassi racing driver. But that has been your teammate. And Kyffin Simpson is here. Kyffin Simpson, welcome to the show. Great job. Top 5 in Detroit, career best finish. How are we feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm super happy that we were able to get a strong result in the books. I felt like after Indy GP, I was super bummed because we didn't get a chance to show what we had, but I felt we had a really strong car and a strong chance at performing well. So to be able to come back at Detroit and have a good weekend there was super helpful for confidence,
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I want to get into a lot of things. I think it's you're with the best of the best right now, right? Like the Chip Ganassi racing team, that is exactly where you want to go. For me personally, for any young driver, I feel like it's Penske Ganassi, right? Those are the two titans of the sport.
Absolutely.
But what has it been like? Obviously you're still very young. From the Cayman Islands, correct? Hey, that's cool. Yeah. I have family that lives in the Cayman Islands, oddly enough, too. Irish family. Oh, really? I'm not sure if you knew that, but that's cool. But this is something that, as a young driver, tell us what the learning process has been like when you first jumped into that, data engineering office and you saw Scott Dixon there and Alex Palou. And obviously now you've got the partnership as well with the MSR guys, which, a couple great drivers over there too. What's that like in that office? And what's that information kind of been like going into your brain?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. A lot of information to take in. And I mean, like the Ganassi engineering staff, they've all got so much experience and they've been around for so long. Well, many of them have at least. So they have years and years and years of experience that I'm just learning from constantly. And it's from when I started with the team to now, I feel like I've learned something new every day with them. And it's just a steep learning curve.
I hear you. Well, that's good. I mean, honestly, it's something that I love to hear that you've enjoyed being a part of that and getting that information. But there's always the next race, right? Like now we've got a top 5 under our belt, which had to feel good. Talk Detroit specifically. That race, I mean, I saw you at one point. Actually, I believe you came out of the pits directly in front of me on that last run. And when I saw the yellow, I've got enough experience in my life. I got my first podium because of a good yellow. Like I've been there. Like I get it. It's one of those things that when you catch it, it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
What did that feel like? Like that had to have been when you cycled up there, that had to have been like, all right, this is sweet.
Yeah. No, when I saw the yellow come out, I was like, okay, surely this is good for us, right? But I didn't realize how good it was for us until everyone cycled through the pits and I was right behind Santino in second. And at that point, I was like, oh, okay, we're in a really good spot here. So, yeah, at that point, it was just, don't mess this up. And I don't think I messed it up too bad. I was hoping we could stay on the podium, but, I think it was a good showing from us. So I was happy with it.
But tell us about what was going through your mind there, right? Because now you got, I mean, you know exactly who's coming behind you, and you do have to make good decisions. Like Detroit, I thought, some fans actually disagreed with me, and I actually respect that they enjoyed watching the race. I'm not a fan of that track personally. Like I thought it was a difficult one. I think it doesn't really let our cars kind of run to the best of their abilities, but it's a tough track. To make mistakes is very easy, and you didn't do that. You delivered, and that was it. But what was that like? I mean, what was there a couple moments where you're like, oh yikes, this is we got Kyle Kirkwood who's been fast the whole weekend. You've got other guys around that are really quick. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I knew. I think at the restart, it was Santino, me, Armstrong, and then Kirkwood was right behind him. And I knew Kyle was going to be super fast. Like him and Colton and Will had been quick all weekend. And I knew they were some of the strongest cars. So I knew it was going to be a tough race to the finish. And I was just I was just kind of hoping that Armstrong could keep them behind for as long as possible. And then maybe I could try to pull away or something like that while they battled. But yeah, it didn't really work out that way. They were just so strong off the rip that I was just slipping and sliding around, and they seemed to have so much more grip than me is how it felt. But yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but they were really strong off that restart, and I just couldn't hold on to it. And then Kyle got pretty aggressive with me when he was going for P2. And at that point, I was just trying to bring it home. So I was like, I got to bail out of this to make sure I bring it home.
No, that's smart. That's smart. Chase, I'm going to let you jump in here.
Yeah, I read one line. It was kind of talking a little bit about, this was one of your races where you were following a direct line of like Alex Palou. What's it been like working with him specifically this year, with him having all of the success that he's been having? How much time are you spending with him off the track, if any, and what's the biggest takeaway that you've had this year?
Yeah, to start, we were more kind of following with what Scott was doing, I think, because he started on the primaries with us, and then Alex was on the greens. So we were trying to fuel save, I think, is what you were talking about, like he did after the first yellows, and try to prolong the stint as much as we could to shorten the green stints. And yeah, that was super helpful for me, having like a reference to be like, okay, so Scott's getting about this number and he's doing about this pace, so I should be able to do that. And so it just gives you a good reference of like where you should be. And obviously Scott's going to be one of the best always at fuel saving. So you know that if you're pretty close, you're not too bad, you know. And it's just a good reference to have. And then afterwards I can go back and look at all the data in the video and see what he was doing different, how he was maybe a bit quicker or saving a bit more fuel, and kind of figure out where I can improve for the next time I find myself in that situation. And I mean, same goes for Alex. Like Alex is just at the top of his game right now. It just doesn't make sense, really. Like I've never seen someone so consistently impressive. Like
we haven't either, honestly. Like
first
trust
time
me, we're in the same boat.
Yeah. Like I go back and I look at the data and I'm like, okay, maybe I can be a bit quicker here, maybe I can be a bit quicker there. But then it just adds up over the whole lap and you end up like half a second off of them. And you're like, where did that come from? And yeah, it's impressive from him. He's doing a great job, and I honestly don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, sadly, we don't either. We hope it does. I mean, I certainly personally, as someone who also has to go up, you know, and try to defeat him, that's a challenge. But yeah. I want to talk a little bit about some fans. I saw a fan, and I'm sure you saw this person too, with a shirt that said Kiff Dog on it, which I thought was great. What have the fans been like? Kiff Dog, for some reason, I've enjoyed seeing that. There's a lot of the youth on the internet. They go wild. They've got these. I've got this whole. I've got this thing right here next. That's a friendship bracelets.
Sweet.
All these bracelets that they've made.
Yeah.
And that's kind of wild, and it's cool to see what they've done. What's it been like seeing fans kind of create their own support system for you and kind of just go wild with it?
Yeah, it's been cool. I feel like there's such a great fan base in IndyCar, just in general. Like the fans are so passionate about the sport, and like you really see it at the 500 the most. Like when you're there for just a random practice day and there's probably more people than show up to a road course race, you know, like it's just incredible the passion that the fans have for the sport. And then them supporting me as well is super cool. And it's just cool to see all the different things they come up with. Like one guy at 500 had like printed off a shirt with my face on it from like some picture I did
There
for
you go.
Q&A, and like it was just some random picture of me, and he printed it off a picture just saying "Go Kyffin," and I was like, yeah, that's hilarious, that's awesome. So, yeah, it's been super cool. I should probably do something like that with all the bracelets, because like they just kind of pile up, and I don't really know what to do with them. And I don't really like wearing stuff on my wrist too much, but like my sister really likes them, so sometimes she wears them. But yeah, I don't.
My girlfriend Amy got me this. I don't know where it came from.
That's actually a
and
really
if you're
good
listening,
idea.
yeah, if you're listening, you obviously can't see this, but I don't know where it came from, but it was actually a great idea. Now it's full though, so I need another one. So
Yeah.
The
I feel
bracelet
like
game is so strong in IndyCar.
Yeah.
Like where, like I don't even know where this began. I just know that pretty much every race I go to, I'm giving bracelets now.
I think my sister
That's the
said it
thing.
was like a Taylor Swift thing or something.
That's
but I don't
fair. She
actually
does
know the
control the
story.
entire world.
Yeah,
She
that's
controls
fair.
it.
Yeah.
Are you a
That
Swiftie
maybe.
or just your sister?
No, I don't think my sister's really a Swiftie either, to be honest. But I think
Okay.
she just spends more time on TikTok than I do, you know?
Fair. Yeah, I try to. The TikTok is a wild world. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It does seem like though you've had a great internet presence. I've actually said this on the show before. I've respected the Kyffin internet presence. Has it been something that's just like, hey, we got to get into this because we got to create, we got to establish a brand, or is it just like it's just fun? Like, hey, we're gonna try to enjoy this.
I think it's a little bit of a mix of both. It probably started out as more of a brand thing, but I've kind of taken it and just really had fun with it. And yeah, I just enjoy doing it sometimes. Sometimes I like to take my time to just like chill and kind of stay off Twitter or X for a little bit. And
That's very important too.
and just
Not-
kind of
yeah.
relax. But, every now and again, it's good to, just have some fun with it. And yeah, I've had a good time with it over the last couple of years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, I want to go, I want to do a little bit of a historical dive, but obviously you're very young. So I want to have people know, like, what was actually your very first Indy 500 that you attended as a fan? What year was that? And what was like your first reaction to it?
First year I attended a 500 was 2022.
Okay. So really not that long ago.
Yeah, no, it was the year Marcus won. It was my that year was the year I got signed with Ganassi on the development program, and so I was just kind of with the team the whole month, like spending time with the team and going through the month of May with them, and that was my first kind of fan experience of it. But like in 2020, I had tried to come and show up to just watch it. But obviously 2020. So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I think 2021, I had something else going on or something like that. So I didn't get to come. And, so 2022 was my first year.
And then what's it been like? Because obviously the Indy 500, I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world. I think so, at least.
Yeah.
Well, obviously it is the greatest thing in the
Yeah.
world. We're just going to go with it. But as like a rookie there, I mean, you had a great qualifying run for obviously your first year as well. And I think there's been a couple times that event has just been just so much fun. And you guys have been fast. Like you guys have been fast there without a doubt. What's that been like as you've gone from, all right, I'm going to check this out, this is crazy, and then now you're a driver in it? What's that been like? Does it? Because I've obviously done a few of them, and for me, it never gets old, and it actually continues to get even more awesome.
Yeah.
Has that been something that you've thought as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what it was this year, but this year especially just felt packed the entire month.
I agree.
Like the atmosphere was insane. Just felt like, one, there were a lot of people around, but two, a lot of people that were very excited to see cars go fast and turn left. So it was very cool to
Hell yeah.
very cool to see everyone there and experience my first sold out 500, which was pretty cool. So I mean, obviously only 4 years in it now, but yeah, every year it's gotten cooler and cooler to me. And yeah, I honestly just can't wait to be back. I know we only just left, but it's just that kind of thing where like you wait all year for our big race and then it comes and goes too quick almost.
I agree. Chase, I'm going to let you jump back in here.
Yes, outside of racing, I've noticed I've been following you on the gram for a little bit now. You are one of those drivers that went above and beyond for memes. It seems like you like memes. You like to have fun, like to have a good time. So I like that. But also your personal life, you seem to be a big water guy. You a big kite surfing guy. You like that?
Yeah.
Like how did that get started?
Yeah, well, I mean, living on an island, there's a whole lot of water sports, right? So you just kind of are always around water sports. Kite surfing just happens to be something that's pretty big in Cayman. So it's pretty good for wind there. Like, especially, it works out really well because all through the winter, our off season is when it's really windy down there. And that's when the wind is best. And so it works out really well that in the summer I race and then in the winter I go kite surfing. And it's just kind of like the perfect hobby to have living in Cayman, you know? So yeah, I got into it in like 2020 and just fell in love with it, really.
Nice.
That's
do
awesome.
you do a lot of spins? Do you do like a lot of Can you do any tricks? Can you do like flips?
Yeah.
Spins?
Yeah.
Flips and spins.
I can do some tricks.
Hell yeah.
You can't really do like a flip in like the sense of like you do like a front flip or something like that.
I don't know if you can tell, but Chase has never been kite surfing, nor will he probably ever. The mustache, I think, says I'm probably not a kite surfing guy. No offense,
aerodynamics aren't there, dude.
Yeah. I can teach you. I got you.
All right, bet, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going kite surfing, Connor.
Yeah, there you go.
If I ever see you on a kite surfboard, Chase, I might laugh my pants off. Like that.
I'm going to learn how to do a kickflip on it.
Watch. A kickflip. That would be something. Now, Kyffin, if you somehow get Chase onto a kite surfboard in the wind, that would be something I think I would never forget. So that's
like
hilarious.
we got plans this winter, dude.
Hey, there you
I
go.
actually do want to go to the Cayman Islands because I know I said this, but some of my Irish family actually do live down there, have spent a lot of time down there, and it does look awesome. And my girlfriend I know wants to go as well, and so I might hit you up for some recommendations because it does seem like an amazing. Like, is it just perfect for training? Obviously, it's got to be a great place to train and stay fit.
Yeah,
but that just has been a place where you and the family have been like, hey, this is the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we used to live in Barbados, and growing up there, I loved that as well. But Cayman is, it's very different because the land is very flat, so it's much more developed. And so there's more like, it's almost like Miami, but on an island.
Fair.
And smaller. So it's got just a bit more like infrastructure to it. And it's like just kind of a paradise, really. Like, you've got the beautiful beaches and the water, and then you've got like the places you can go train and places you can go shopping and dinner and all that. Like, Camana Bay is a great spot for just kind of anything. And then you've got 7 Mile Beach, like, I don't know, 5-minute walk away.
That's awesome. I love it. I can't wait to go. Let's get back to racing real quick too. So let's talk about, let's get into the biggest area of development you think for you. Like, where do you want to get better the most? Like, obviously, like for me, there's certain areas that even as much as I've been around in this current era of the car, like it's a big time struggle. On the street and road courses, our package for sure. We want to improve that as a group, as a team. But for you as a driver, obviously you're still quite young, so there's probably areas where you're like, hey, this is the spot where I need to improve. Is it short ovals? Is it Indy? Is it street courses specifically? What do you think is the best area for you to improve as a driver?
Yeah, I think ovals have definitely tended to be my weak spot. I think Indy hasn't been as difficult for me. But like short ovals I've struggled with just in general all through my career. And it's something that I feel like I'm getting more the hang of, but it's kind of a different animal, really. Like, it's just, I don't know how to describe it, but I find it so much more difficult for some reason. And, yeah, it's been something that we've been working on a lot. And I think, well, we've got Gateway this weekend, so we'll see how the progress has been. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think last year at Gateway, as the race was going on, I was getting more and more comfortable. So, I think going back there this year, hopefully we can hit the ground running.
That's awesome. Tell everyone a little bit about, I guess, how many races you've actually got to drive a lot of different race cars all across the world, and like sports cars and open wheel cars. And you've spent some time overseas as well, racing and testing and stuff like that. I guess I'm trying to figure out the best way to like ask this question, but what do you think has helped most from another car standpoint when it comes to IndyCar? Like, is it an LMP2 car, or is it something? Is it a different open wheel car that you've tested or something like that? That's been like, hey, this has actually been something that has helped me as a driver most, because I find it interesting. I've obviously driven a ton of crazy stuff too, but all of it, I think, adds to the package as a driver. So is there one memory that sticks out to you from driving a different car that's like, hey, this has been a really helpful moment for my racing career?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I really thought the LMP2 car was really good for my development just in general, but also like preparing me for IndyCar specifically. I felt like the P2 car, for whatever reason, it just felt more similar to the Indy car than like the Indy Next car did, although the Indy Next car was a single seater. And I think kind of doing both of those together was a big help for me to kind of put it all together when I got to IndyCar. And I think it just kind of, I don't really know what it was, because like LMP2 car is a big, heavy car, and it's wider and it's got all the body work on it that's very different to IndyCar. And so you would think it would drive quite different, but I actually felt like it was kind of similar. So I thought that was a big help. And with every race that I got to do in that, which luckily I got to do quite a lot of in 2023, was very helpful for me, I felt.
That's awesome. No, it's cool to hear, because I think, I've driven even racing like dirt midgets. I thought afterwards, I was like, oh, this actually helped me on the ovals for some reason. And it's just every time you can add something, and I know, you've had an opportunity to do those things. And so I was just curious, and I think that's really cool. Yeah. What are your next goals in IndyCar? Like, is this like, hey, we're going to, obviously podium's next, right? We're in the top 5. That's pretty good. Podium's probably next, right? And I think, you've got the team around you to do that. Is it, is that what Mike Hull and Chip are looking for out of you next? Have they made like hey, Kyffin, we want to see, this is what's next for you? Because obviously Mike Hull, incredible leader. Chip Ganassi, obviously one of the most successful team owners in our sport. Have those guys said, laid it out as like, hey, these are our next goals and this is what the process looks like?
They haven't exactly like laid out for me exactly what they want me to do in terms of like results and all that. But going into this year, I definitely had the goals for myself of, I want to be in the top 10 every race, and I want to be in the fast 12 in every qualifying. And I knew, obviously, you're going to have your races where stuff happens and you're not in the top 10 or you're not in the fast 12. But I wanted to be just like as consistently as possible, making fast 12 and making top 10s in the races. So I think so far this year, I haven't been accomplishing the goals as well as I've wanted to. But I'm definitely feeling like we're quick and feeling like we're strong. So it's just more been about execution and putting everything together. And I think I think that's something we did pretty well in Detroit. Even though we didn't qualify very well, we didn't start off very well. So we were kind of playing catch up the whole weekend. But I felt like through the race, we executed very well. And I think that's something that we just need to continue working on our execution. And I think results will just come with that.
Perfect. Well, Chase, I'll give you one more, and then we'll wrap it up for Kyffin here.
Yeah, talking about development and things like that, how much time are you putting in every week in like iRacing, like on simulators, things like that? Like or do you enjoy that? Is that fun, or is that just something that you look at as like this is a part of the work schedule?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because we like a couple of guys at the shop have this iRacing league that we do we race Xfinities and Xfinity cars in NASCAR.
Love that.
And we'll just like take them to some random oval, or we do a couple road courses, but mostly ovals, and just kind of mess around and have some fun in that. And they've got the whole championship and all, but for me, I just like to drive it because it's fun, because I end up missing some races. And so that tends to be like a weekly thing as much as I can. And it's just good fun for racing. And I think it's actually pretty good practice for ovals as well, even though it's a different car and all that. I think it's still, the principles are very similar. So I think that's been helping me a little bit as well. And yeah, but other than that, I don't put a ton into sim work because I find it tends to be very different than when you actually get to the track. So I find like sim work was more helpful for me when I needed to learn a track. Like if I was going to Barcelona for the first time, I would jump on the sim, do a whole lot of laps to learn the track. Before Le Mans last year, I did a ton of laps on iRacing, learning the track, learning where the track went. It's a long track, so it's a lot to learn. And yeah, just, stuff like that. I feel it's more helpful for that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man. Kyffin, we appreciate you being on here. Honestly, great run at Detroit. There's still a lot of races out here in front of us. So, we've got St. Louis this weekend, as you mentioned. We hope the weather clears up for us. That's obviously the big question right now. But yeah, man, thanks for being on the show. Great run in Detroit. And we will see you in that number 8 machine in St. Louis, and obviously into the future. So it's a great looking car, by the way. The Journey Rewards wagon, I like it. I think it's a great looking car. I've expressed that to your crew members as well.
Yeah, it's great. Stands out well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much, man.
All right, thank you.
Well, we appreciate Kyffin being on the show. First time for everything. We'll see how the rest of the season goes for him. And obviously, yeah, I mean, I know that, we know what I've said about Kyffin before on this show, and I respect that he shows up, and honestly always been very, very, very kind to talk to. So shout out to him. A lot of how I feel is just because, I speak from a place of, I'm jealous. I love the Chip Ganassi racing team is the best. That's awesome. So
now you're going to be even more because he's going to take me kite surfing, dude.
Yeah, now he needs to take you kite surfing, which is going to be hilarious. So anyway, Kyffin, nice fella. Kiff Dog. I think maybe we started that nickname. I don't know. Maybe we did. Maybe we didn't. I think 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's get to the Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week.
The greatest event of its kind that's ever been run on.
Let's meet the drivers. Who will make up the field?
This week on the Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week, we went back to the year of 1954. The 1954 Indianapolis 500 was won, of course, by Bill Vukovich. There are several names on this entry list that we have used before, but not the 7th place finisher. The 7th place finisher is Don Freeland. Don Freeland, the 7th place finisher, excuse me. He competed in the Indy 500 8 times. Born in L.A., Los Angeles, California. Served in the Navy as a mechanic during World War II. After the war, he began racing, and that's kind of cool. 76 career starts, finished in the top 10 41 times with the best finish of 2nd 3 times. That's wild. So looking at his Indy 500 results, he did not finish second in the Indy 500, but he did finish third. He was on the podium at the Indy 500 in 1956. So that's pretty cool. Led a few laps. A lot of Indy 500s for Don Freeland, and he lived a long life. Lived till the year 2007.
He really
age
did.
82, and California man, died in San Diego. So shout out Don.
I would love to learn more about Don. He looks like a great, just American guy. Like I just, there's this one photo of him. I'm going to
the Google images. Yeah, he does kind of look like he's like a tough fella.
He kind of looks like he was like a meme lord of his time as well. Like he has
a meme lord of the 50s.
Yeah, dude. He has this one photo. I have to send it to you so you'll see it, and I'll put it up on Twitter for everybody as well that follows me over there to see it, because this is a champion right here, dude. I want a shirt like he's got. I think I'm going to find it and wear it. Yeah, shout out
Don Freeland. So that's our Ricky Treadway Random Indy 500 Driver of the Week this week. We appreciate you listening to the show. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe on the Spotifys, on the Apples, on the wherever you listen to your podcast. Just give us a follow there. Follow the Speed Street podcast social channels. You'll be seeing all the goodies from those channels. And we appreciate all you folks. We're going to obviously talk to the winner of the World Wide Technology Raceway Sunday Night Showdown next week. However, hopefully it's me. So that would be awesome. But we're going to give it our best shot. We're going to give it everything we've got. I love this race. I love this event. I love this track. So let's get to it. Pray for clear weather. Let's just have all the thoughts, all the wizardry, all the. We'll get Oz the mentalist to tell us the weather and get it to be all set up. So yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next week on Speed Street. Hey everyone, Connor Daly here. Please leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it, and also subscribe to the channel as well. That would be very helpful. Be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you so much for the support, and we'll see you on the next episode of Speed Street.